So just drilling string holes for the string through bridge. So what I like to do also is I use the bridge itself, measure how far it is from the butt on the center line, flip it over, use the bridge, put it at the same distance from the butt, line it up on the center line, and then I mark my holes for that. And so far I guess I've only done about 6 or 7 string throughs, but it's always worked out for me to line up pretty close. So on the back, I'll just switch to a smaller bit. I made sure this one went through to about the depth of the string ferrules on the back. Line those up later. And now I'll use to get a fairly flat hole, I'll use a 3/8 Forstner bit to come down here, but first I'll drill a pilot hole, a smaller drill than this. I don't think it shows up, but I can see light through every one of those 6, so that's good. They lined up. Everybody's happy. I just used my jig for running over the back of the neck, and it's pretty straightforward. It's a 7/8 bit, round over bit, which is in the 21, 22 millimeter range. I use it just to hog off most of the material. You have to be careful at the ends that you don't get too close to the ends of the shape. But it does. It does this. Let's see if it'll show up on the camera. See how I have a little ridge left down the back, not right at the front, but as it tapers to the back. So what it did was it rounded over, as you can see, that material right up to the edge of the fretboard. And so now I can spend the rest of my time, like I said, that hogs off a fair amount of material. Now I can spend the rest of my time actually reaching the final carve and fine-tuning everything with rasp files, sandpaper, till I get it where I want. So after a lot of rasping and sanding, which I didn't bore you with, I'm now going to take this, was fairly symmetrically done. Now what I do is make a little comfort carve right here at the end. Make that just a little bit more comfortable. So I have some crushed turquoise here and some pulverized, really tiny powder turquoise here. And I'll use the powdered stuff in the small openings in the tubing, aluminum tubing that I put in here. And I'll use the big stuff so that you can actually see the grain in the turquoise for the logo and eventually for the 12th fret. Right now I'm just going to do the logo on the top. I don't really want to start these until I get at least partly radiused, so Okay, so I'm doing this 12 fret inlay here, which is going to be this little scene of mountains or sand dunes, whatever it is, out of aluminum, since we have aluminum in here. And then I'll fill the sky in here with the turquoise crushed first, and then any little tiny voids that I get, I will fill in with the powder. There we go. Oh, that color blue with that brown, that's really cool. Alright, that's going to get sanded a little bit more once we start radius the neck. So we're good to go there. So I'm starting to radius the fretboard with my nice heavy maple radius block here. And I've got a little fixture here I made that holds the neck in place, level the guides to keep me from getting off center, and it's just a matter of working back and forth. And you can see I marked it with a little chalk, especially we'd use pencil on a lighter fretboard, the darker ones I use chalk, and you can start to see how it's taken off the edge, but not the center, which is what you'd expect. So I just keep watching that until I get close. And right now I'm using 80 grit, and I'll go to 120 and then 220, and then by hand I'll probably do some 320. Once I put the tubing in, I use one of these fret fall guards to guard that, so I can use my jeweler saw to cut it off without marring the surface of the wood. And I can't use the nippers for these because being hollow and aluminum, it kind of crushes them even if the nippers are pretty sharp. So anyway, on with the process. So there they are with their turquoise, crushed turquoise inlay. Came out pretty good. Looks good with the top. So, looks like it's about time to fret. Just cutting fretboard length at the moment. Going after with the interesting file. And yes, you will find that it's easier standing up when you have a 71-year-old back. Sometimes you need to do some stuff sitting down. So I give them once over with some 220 grit sandpaper and then some various grits of fret rubbers. Even though this isn't the finish, I like to kind of at least see what I'm coming up with and make sure things are coming out reasonably well. Of course, what you have to do then is check it with a not straight edge, because by driving those frets in, you could have caused some back bow. So this thing is dead flat. I'm telling you, this Babinga is sturdy stuff. Sturdy stuff, so I don't need to do anything with that at the moment. So now I just need to start checking frets with the fret rocker, and I'll, assuming it doesn't come out perfect, which it never has for me, I'll be using the Sharpie, leveling the frets and all that, but let's just check them first. So I don't have a buffing machine or anything, so I'm just going to use my Dremel and a buffing pad and some of this autosol metal polish, and we're just going to polish up these frets. Nice and shiny. Smooth. So I think we're, I might see another scratch or two on Fretboard, tiny ones. So I'm going to try to dress these black knobs, these ebony knobs up the guitar, and dress them up with a little insert of aluminum tubing in turquoise, with the other appointments on the guitar. And so I've made myself just a little centering jig here to make sure I get it in the same place every time. I mean, it's not going right in the center, but it does make me let me put this right. I want it the same way every time. Start with a smaller hole. Go to a bigger one. So now when I'm filling the aluminum tubing up with the powder, what sometimes happens with stuff is you think you got it all packed in and the void shows up like that. So sometimes this takes,